In the cradle of a new world, they came, dreamers chasing hope across the ocean. A fleet of English ships, sails stretched to heaven, carrying over 100 souls toward the unknown. They called it Roanoke Island, a strip of land wrapped in fog and forest, where silence met the sea. Men, women, children, all burning with a single dream, to build a life where none had ever stood before. But the land did not welcome them easily. The forests were deep. The summers, cruel. And the shadows held eyes that had watched this island long before England ever knew its name. Still, they worked. They built wooden homes, raised fences, and sang hymns by the firelight. Each hammer strike echoed with faith, faith that tomorrow would be kinder. At dusk, the settlers wrote letters home, promises of fields, freedom, and a future worth the pain. By candlelight, mothers whispered prayers over their children, while the sea murmured secrets outside. Their leader, John White, was a man of vision. He mapped the land, studied the people, and painted the wild beauty that surrounded them. To him, this was destiny, England's foothold in a new world. But supplies ran thin. And as sickness spread, White made a vow: he would return to England, bring help, and come back soon. The colony gathered by the shore as his ship departed. Waves crashed, children waved, and the wind carried his promise. I will return. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. Storms came, food ran out, and whispers of fear began to haunt the island. And then, the nights grew silent. No laughter. No firelight. Only the cry of the sea birds and the wind through the empty fields. When John White finally returned, 3 long years later, his ship cut through a fog of dread. He stepped ashore, expecting to see smoke, life, and familiar faces. But the island had changed. Grass grew over paths where children once played. Cabins stood hollow, tools rusted, meals left unfinished. White called out their names, no answer. Only the waves replied, soft and endless. And then he saw it, carved deep into a wooden post. One word that would haunt him forever. Croatoan. White searched nearby islands, but no trace of his people was ever found. No graves. No bodies. Just emptiness, heavy as the sea. Had they fled? Had they been taken? Or did they become one with the forest, swallowed by the land they came to claim? Some say the settlers were welcomed by local tribes and lived among them. Others whisper darker tales, of spirits, storms, and the island's quiet vengeance. John White returned to England with nothing but sorrow and questions. His colony, his family, gone like smoke in the dawn. Today, centuries later, Roanoke remains America's oldest unsolved mystery. A story that breathes through the trees, through time, through us. Perhaps they didn't vanish at all. Perhaps they became part of the island itself, the soil, the mist, the legend. What do you think happened to the lost colony of Roanoke?